Boy. What a week it was last week. Man, I know you can appreciate this one, Sharp. They took us out like a hog and just smoked us last week from one barbecuer to the next. Man, it was a bloodbath last week, but we're here to talk about it. If you guys are watching, make sure you hit that follow, hit that subscribe, hit that notify, making sure that you always know when we're going live. We took a beating last week, but we're back. The next best thing you can do is what is our next bet? Y'all know what time it is. Let's go. We don't welcome everybody back. Yes. Welcome everybody back to another episode of MoneyPot
MoneyPot.
Podcast, MoneyPot Betting Show. I am the CEO. I'm the host. They call me Moss Money, and we got some people still a little bit late, but we got the two main guys here. We got our own professional gambler, our professional bettor. They call him C Sharp. What's up, Sharp?
Man, like you said in the intro, boy, we got roasted like a stuffed pig last week, and that happens.
Yep.
God bless the Phillies, because that's all I got after after last weekend.
That's why we
God
wearing
bless
the colors.
Phillies.
That's all we got. That's all we hit on. What's the goddamn Phils, man? I hear
Um,
that.
Man, starting with Colorado. I mean, I'll just real quick go. I literally went to bed thinking, all right, great. Colorado's got me off to a great start. I literally went to bed at halftime. Been following the Phillies all week. Been doing a little bit of drinking. Needed a good night's sleep, so I was like, I'm going to go to bed early. It's 29-0. I wake up to a lost bet, settled bet. Couldn't believe it. Looked at the box score. I just had a feeling right then and there that next morning, Friday morning or Saturday morning, I said, well, I got a bad feeling about what's going to happen today. It's just one of those weekends. And then it rolled right into Devontae Smith. My guy had no drops his senior year in college. He had no drops going into this game. He drops 30 total yards, maybe 40 total yards and 3 passes in the same game. I've never seen him have 3 drops in a season, let alone in the same game. And then we just saw the collapse of the Eagles and the Niners. I mean, it was just one of those weeks that the books took everyone out back and had their way.
Better watch your back, fish, because Squirrel Master ain't gonna be there for you all the time. Because next time I come for you, I'm gonna want some cocktail. Fruit.
Yeah. So pause for our side. But yeah, they did. It was bad. It was bad. So we're going to do our recap of college football week 7. Like I said, it's going to look bloody, but it is what it is. We want to keep it honest. We want to make sure that we stay true to the process of what we're looking at, and making sure that you guys understand our transparency. So as you can see, this is me. Red at the bottom, man. Last couple weeks got hit. The only good bet I made was that Hoosier bet. Remember, I was hyped on the
Unbelievable. Who's your
Hoosiers.
daddy? Who's your daddy,
Yeah,
baby? That was your unbelievable bet.
yeah. The Hoosier bet was the only bet I had. Um, so what a great bet. Got some compliments. Got some comments on that about people just following me on that bet, and they scored at the very beginning. So on a trick play, I loved it. So
Mm-hmm.
that was my 3-unit bet, but damn near gave it all back with my teaser. I had 2 straight bets. These are official bets I gave on the show. I had another bet that I kind of played with too, outside of the official bets too. So I definitely took an L, but we're still on the up and up, still up over 10 units. Percentage is coming down though. We were hitting at over 62, 63%, but the last couple of weeks have kind of given me a hit here. So 21 and 16 on the number, still hitting at 44%. So we're still making money, but definitely starting on the downswing of things. All right. Well, I see him in the background. They call him Diddy. What's up, boy? Everybody got that fills on. I like it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's all we got after that betting slate, and we were all
Right.
the same way.
What's up, bro?
I will say real quick, I want to say a couple. Our bets were not great. A couple things went the wrong way, but I want to say on the show, our handicap of Oregon and the 2 big games, our handicap of Washington and Oregon game was spot on. We talked about it going back and forth. It was a really sharp number. Penix was probably going to pull it out late just because he's that guy at home. And I will say, Bo Nix played incredible. It wasn't on him. But, man, Dan Lanning rolls the dice time and time again, and sometimes it doesn't work. And then, like we talked about, the only way USC is going to win is if Caleb Williams is a magic man. And sometimes quarterbacks can't play like that every game. They're human too. And he had a game where he's human. And we see what happens when USC relies on one player to be a magic man, and he's not. So I thought our handicaps in both those games were really strong. Obviously, they weren't bets. We thought the line was pretty sharp, but I did want to say that. We weren't terrible last week.
Yeah, I appreciate the boost of confidence, but my wallet says we were trash. So it is what it is. What's up, Diddy? What's up, man? You got a mean mug on your face, man. What's going on?
Oh, just a long day, man. Work had me busy today, man. Usually ain't like that. So,
Oh, okay.
just kind of like ain't get a second to really wind
What
down.
about
I
this?
feel like I was rushing. So,
I was going to
Okay,
say, Diddy, the Phillies don't play tonight. We got an off night. You can relax a little.
nah, fuck that. We ain't got no off nights. I don't want no off nights. Not the way not what I saw last night being in the ballpark and the way
Oh
we've been
man, it is
seeing the
electric.
baseball. Hopefully we can carry that same energy, which I do believe. I think this will be a sweep. I just don't think. I'm sorry. I'm already thinking about Texas already. I just don't think Arizona um, it has enough to keep up with the Philadelphia Phillies. Um, I thought I'd see a little better out of the Arizona Diamondbacks than what I've been seeing. So I don't think going to Arizona is going to make a difference. The way the Philadelphia Phillies have been playing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. We'll talk
I
about
wish
the
we played
Phillies.
tonight. Like that's
No,
how
I
hot
do
we
too.
are. I wish we played
Yeah, because
tonight.
we get them boys out of here tonight again
Yeah.
too, for sure, for sure. Diddy, I know you weren't on the show last week. It was just me and Sharp running with it. I don't have any. I know you gave some official bets. I'm not sure if you have anything handy of how you did last week.
Yeah.
If not,
So
we can update it later if you want to just keep it moving. It's up
so
to you.
last week my single plays was Iowa State, which hit. That was it. I wish I'd have smashed that really heavy. I really felt really comfortable with that Iowa State game versus Cincinnati. Um, I believe the Kansas Oklahoma State. I got to look back at that game. Did Oklahoma State win that game? I think no. Kansas blew them out, right?
Yes.
No,
No,
Oklahoma
Candace,
State won. We
they
lost
won.
that bet.
Okay, so we lost
Yeah.
that bet, and I
Yeah.
think I definitely lost that BYU bet. BYU did not show up at all. I was very surprised about that one.
Me
But
too.
I was big on that UNC game, which I had a couple units on that for
Yeah.
UNC. I bought it. Remember, I was saying I bought a point to get under 2.5. Didn't even need to do that, but we were able to get that. Those are my single plays. Um, I had a couple teasers in there. I think I may have hit the totals teaser and lost a few of the other teasers, but we were kind of more on a 50-50 ish. I'll go back and get you the information of the
All
wins
right.
and losses so we can update.
All right. So I know I heard the couple straight bets. I'll just update real quick. BYU, right?
Yep, straight bets. I went 2 for 2. Well, I'm sorry, 2 for 4. Yep, I won the Iowa State and I won the UNC, lost to BYU and lost to Kansas one.
All right.
I tell you what, by the way, speaking like you got to change I had to at least like Oklahoma State's made a quarterback change and their offense has totally come alive. So
Yeah, yeah, they are. They have
that's
stuff
what
to do.
that's what happened. Their new quarterback's a different cat. He's a good player. So until defensive coordinators get tape on him, he's going to
Hmm.
shock people.
Yep.
The damn young backup quarterback strikes again.
Yeah.
So just to do a quick update of Diddy where you're at. Up 6 units, 17%. Still over the 60%, which is where you want to be. If anybody's clocking out from a professional better standpoint. So
Yeah, it's
still
fantastic.
leading the pack with the college football in terms of percentages, in terms of winning percentage, keeping it clean, nothing major. You kind of fought back here last week. Was a tough week for you, but you're fighting back
Hmm.
here. And then Sharp, we'll go over to you. Had like you said, had a tough week. Big units. You win big. You win when you bet big. You win big. But when you bet big and you can lose big as well. So had a tough
Yep.
week for you from college football. So we went down a lot of units. Colorado obviously bit you in the ass over 10 units just on Colorado alone.
Yep.
With any type of Colorado plays. Other words,
Hey,
Candace and Stanford. So.
Yeah, you don't have my UNC down, but
Oh,
yeah.
UNC was a win.
Yep, that was we. I think you shared the video set that same day.
Yeah, I think so. Was that 5 or 3?
3-3.
3. Okay.
Yeah, that was bad. My crossover teaser did not hit. That was
Yeah.
bad. Um, yeah, my 3-team teaser didn't hit. Kansas lost. That was not good.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was just, it's one of those weeks. So, but you were cooking in the beginning. Obviously NFL is night and day to what college is. But 55% right now, this week put you back down because of the big loss on Colorado. You were up 5 to 6 units, but Colorado swung that. So down 4 units in college. But all together, between you, myself, and Diddy, we are up almost 10 units across the number of people are betting blind. So always want to keep a running count, know what the bankroll is. Always want to talk about bankroll management when we can. So make sure you guys, when we're talking about unit sizes, we're talking about $100 in terms of units. So make sure you don't not if you have the bankroll, you can follow how we bet, but if not, make sure you manage your bankroll accordingly so you do not get yourself in any type of trouble where you're betting or using house money to make bets and you got to figure out how to pay the mortgage or the car note or whatever you got going on. All right. So we got college football week 8 starting. Let's bring up the handy dandy sports book. Let's get right into the bets. Let's get some of this money back. I know in our chat, we've been sharing some picks, personal picks we've been doing, especially on baseball. We've been running pretty good. So I like the momentum getting back into college week. And then kind of starting off this week on a better foot and a hot foot. So we got some games today. I'm not on any of these games, even though I thought it was interesting that I was looking at Sam Houston, who hasn't won a game, his favorite, -5.5. I feel like you should just take
Yeah.
them blind because the line is telling you that Sam Houston should probably win this game. But I don't have anything on today's games. I have some on tomorrow's game. But anybody got anything on today's games? I know that we didn't get a chance to share the list, but any straight bets on today's games?
No straight bets for me. I do have them in a just throw money into a parlay money line with two teams for tomorrow. So um, that would be New Mexico State money line parlay, and we'll push them with two teams tomorrow night.
This is a you doing a parlay? You said?
This will be a parlay money line parlay. Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. So for my first best bet, I do have a play tomorrow. Um, we got this James Madison Marshall game. Huge, huge game in the Sun Belt conference. Marshall, what are they? Thunder Herd, and which James Madison? I forget what they are. James Madison Dukes. That's what they are. James Madison Dukes. James
The
Madison has
Dukes,
been
yeah,
run
JMU.
is
They're
has been
rolling.
they've been running. They've been rolling, right? They've been rolling pretty good. They are undefeated so far.
Yeah.
I think if you talk to
So
some
they're
other
not
people,
bowl eligible this year, but they just jumped. This is their first year jumping from FCS to FBS. If they're not bowl eligible, but man, they're a damn good team.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But what I was looking at here in this game was that playing at Marshall is not obviously the easiest task. What's that? Joan C. Edwards Stadium, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And they've always had a little bit of tough time playing Marshall at Marshall. Now, I'm not taking the line here in terms of betting Marshall with the 3.5 because I think the hook's there, and I think this is James Madison line. But what I do think is, I think there'll be some points scored here, and I do like Marshall to be able to keep pace here and put up points. They've scored over 24 points in every game they played. And James Madison on the road has given up some points here. So give me Marshall over 23.5 points. I get it under the nice hook of 24. So I really like this bet. I think Marshall is going to keep this game close enough. And like I said, at home, Marshall has scored some points. They're ranked. What were they ranked? I think, in scoring. They were, I think, in top 50, top 75 in scoring. And you know, JMU's defensive strength is the rushing defense, where they only give up about, I think they're top 5 in rushing defense, where they're only giving up 50 to 60 yards a game per rush, but they give up 310 yards passing per game. Uh, And the dude Combs has played, not Combs, Francher, that's his name. Francher has played well enough to me. He's had a couple big games where he's thrown for over 300 yards in some big games where I think he's going to be able to keep this game close. So give me Marshall over 23 and a half. I like it. You know what? I like it when you guys give me those looks like, oh, that's a risky play. Because I've been good on them Jones. Them Jones where y'all like, oh, Nate, you by yourself on this one. I've been all right on them gems, bro.
Well, you know what? I don't mind that because I'm on the money line side of that.
Oh, you like Marshall straight?
No, 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 no,
I
not so,
was about to
not
say.
so fast, my friend, not so fast. In the words of Lee Corso.
Not so fast. Midget. Yeah, little guy. Hey, not so fast.
No. I can't. I got to roll with the hot hand here, and that's James Madison. To Sharp's point, like you said, they are not bowl eligible. It's not their first year. They have a 2-year ban.
Second?
Sharp, this is their second year.
Yeah, second.
Yeah, but
You're
they
right.
have that 2-year ban.
Yeah.
They did try to file for a waiver, which was denied in spring. So unfortunately, I do think they will be fighting to continue this undefeated season. Most likely, they can have that UCF championship banner up like UCF did, if they
Right.
possibly win and be world champions. But anyway, I'm on the opposite side of here. I'm not sure if this is Marshall's day. I forgot what that day is, and I don't want to say anything disrespectful, but I know Marshall has a celebration or celebratory game where they represent those that passed away in that aircraft. I'll have to double check that to see if that's this game for this was it Thursday night.
Yeah,
If
Thursday
that's the
night.
case, you do have the extra passion. It's kind of like the Boston College game, the We Are Marshall type game.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, it will be a tough sledding for James Madison, probably going into that area to that home field. But I still like James Madison. I think they can put the ball up and score the ball anytime. So I do have them on a money line parlay. What I said with the game tonight against with New Mexico, and we're going to bring that with the last game on the Thursday night.
All right, well, let's put it together for you.
Yeah, put it together while we're here. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're gonna go money line parlay. I think it plays like 3.5 to 1 or just close to that.
And then what, Rice and Tulsa?
And then Bryson Tulsa, we're gonna take your boys down there in Tulsa.
Hey, so I just looked it up. This is the We Are Marshall game, football, James Madison.
But that's why the line is short.
I was just looking it up. So they're doing it across a bunch of different sports. I'm on Marshall's website, official website. It is the 7 p.m. That's why it's on national TV spotlight game.
Yeah, it's gonna be big.
Yeah.
But give me JMU with the money line in that parlay. 3 to 3.5.
I heard you by the way. You're taking Tulsa.
I'm going with Tulsa, baby. Let me get that little accent. How's it go? Let me get that little that Tulsa.
Tulsa Golden Hurricanes, baby.
Give me that Tulsa Golden Hurricane, baby. That work.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did. All right.
That was terrible.
I tried. Man. I got a Philly accent. You know what I mean?
Braxton should be backed. I mean, he should be have solidified himself as the quarterback, and he's the 6'5". He's raw. He's kind of he's really raw, but he's a big kid and athletic, strong. So their offense should have a much higher ceiling than it has all season with Williams, who started as the backup.
So Sharp, this is going to be the key question for me in this play. Are you or are you not going to that game tomorrow?
Oh shit.
I'm not. I am gonna go for sure. I'll be at the tailgate. I got to, but I'll be watching the Philly.
Okay.
But I'll be watching the Phillies game.
But you won't be in the. You won't be in the building.
Oh, I'll go into the game after the.
No, don't go watch.
I was about to say.
Don't go in that building.
He don't want you to go.
But good luck betting Tulsa.
I'm messing with you. No, I just got a money line parlay. That'll be my money line parlay. Tulsa, New Mexico State, and J Madison. I like the value here. So that's be a play for me, official play. 1 unit, 3.5 to 1, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yep, 1 unit play.
325. Yep.
Okay. Yep, I'll take that.
I like it. I like it because I like the parlay to start off the week. Go roll you right into Saturday games. So to get some momentum going. Like I said, we've been hitting, obviously in the chat. So make sure when we do drop plays, you guys out there hit the subscribe button. I see thousands of people watching the show.
Yeah.
Thousands. I don't need no tip. The only tip I need is to hit the subscribe button. It costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to hit the subscribe button. If you're winning with us, come join the party, jump on the goddamn money train, and ride along with us for this road ahead of as we just go kill the sports books. Like I said all the time, it's not me versus you. It's not us versus them. It's us versus the sports books, us versus the bookman, aka the boogeyman. Let's go get them. Let's go rob the bank. Not literally, but y'all know what I'm saying. All right, let's keep it going. I got a Friday night game, baby.
It's only one.
Tempo.
It's only one.
Only one. Only one. This is a 2-unit play for me. Give me y'all just waiting for me to say
What?
Temple. Give me SMU.
Oh,
I don't know what's going on with what's his name? Was it EJ? I think his name is at Temple, the
the quarterback?
quarterback. Yeah,
Oh,
I think he has a
Kurt Warner's
concussion.
son?
Yeah, I think is it Elijah Warner? I think it is. I think that's his name is EJ.
EJ Warner.
Yeah, EJ Warner. Yeah, he's got a concussion. So a phantom concussion. I don't know. He was balling. Like I said to you guys before, I felt like he was balling. I mean, Temple's terrible, but he was good. And he's got a concussion. They put the senior in there last week. They killed a lot of people's tickets. They had that at 30 minutes before the game, and Temple got smoked because the backup quarterback as the senior is terrible. All he's a runner. He's a runner. He can't throw the ball. He's a runner. I think he had three picks last week. Now, obviously with the game plan being more catered to his skill set, more than likely, um, for him to be able to play and be able to change, but not against SMU. It's not enough time. There's a reason why Warner. I mean, well, there's more than one reason why Warner's kid was starting, but Warner's kid just talent wise was a better arm. I like SMU here going against one of the worst teams in the nation, so I like SMU straight. I think they bomb on Temple. I can see them scoring, 3 to 4 touchdowns. Give me SMU with the number minus 20.5. Going a little bit heavy here. Give me 2 units on that thing, boy.
Hey Moss, can we look at the team total for SMU here? I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
where the bag. I think that's where the bag is at. Probably what,
37 and
42
a
and a
half.
half. Ooh, give me that. Matter of fact, I'm not. That's not even written down. Give me that for 2 units.
Everybody, come on, Sharp. You got one? You throwing your hat in there with that SMU bag?
My only thing is, what's the weather? Isn't it supposed to be rainy and windy in Philly? It's Friday, Saturday.
I think it's this weekend. Oh, it is coming. You're right. You're right, Sharp. It
So
is going
just
to be
be
really bad
careful.
weather. Hold on. Hold
Because
on. Hold on. Hold
I
on.
think the line opened. I think the total opened at 57. It's been steaming down. Watch the weather. I think there's some
The
weather
weather is
possible.
coming. You're right. I thought that was coming on Sunday though. I thought it was going to be Sunday
I
this
think it's
weekend, like
Friday.
you said.
I think it's Friday, Saturday.
I
I
didn't
could be wrong,
I didn't
but
see it
Maybe I
in
should
the
ask Alexa.
maybe I should ask Alexa.
No, but I think
Good
you're right. I know
catch.
weather is coming in.
Good
That's
catch,
a good
Sharp. But
yeah,
let
point.
me
Philadelphia, PA, scattered showers on Saturday.
But what? No, but this is a Friday game. What about Friday?
Friday night is windy. Same thing. Friday
Windy.
night showers.
What's the win?
70% chance of precipitation. Wind 10 to 15.
Yeah, never mind. I'm off it. Sorry.
soft.
SMU has to throw the football to score.
I mean, what I would do is
Temple?
just wait another day and see what that weather's doing. That line's not going to move too much on the team total.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I look at it is just
I mean,
because Temple's defense is so bad. That's the biggest reason. No matter how good EJ Warner is playing, they can't stop anybody. I think over the last
I
three,
don't
4
think.
weeks, they're averaging over 40 points a game on their opponents. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Sharp.
No, you're good. I was just saying. I don't. You could wait a day on the weather. Wait till
Yeah,
tomorrow, see what it's looking like.
that's what I would
I
do.
don't think enough people is going to hammer that game one way or the other to make that line move.
Good point.
I'm still
Good
betting.
point.
I'm still.
No,
I'm still betting.
no, you do you.
Yeah, I'm still betting. That weather don't really change. That just makes it even more better for me for SMU because they can move the ball. Temple's not going to be able to move the ball.
Yeah.
So I think the weather plays even more favor to me because Temple's terrible anyway. Now you get them in the rain. Okay. So
Yeah,
like I said, 2 units minus 20.5. Give me SMU. I think they bomb on Temple. All
Sharp.
right.
Is that a ponytail in the back?
Yeah, man.
I see you. I
I'm
That's
see
not
you.
cutting my
a
hair till one of our team. I'm not cutting my hair till one of our teams win, and it definitely ain't going to be the Sixers.
Hopefully we can get that thing buzzed real soon. Hopefully,
Exactly.
hopefully within the
I'm
next
ready.
next 3-4 weeks, 3 weeks.
I'm ready for a haircut. I'm going to try to go if the Rangers end up winning, I'll definitely go to game 1 or 2.
All right. I
That'd
will
be
be in
dope.
the building. You know that. I will be in that building.
Well, I think Rangers have home field advantage. I'm talking in Arlington. I'll go to a game in Texas.
I thought we won the All-Star game. Should be coming here, right? Yeah, we won the All-Star
It's
game.
not the All Star. It's off head to head.
It's a
No, it's
yeah,
not
it's
Oh,
on
it's
a
off.
head to
It's
bet.
off
head.
head. It's off head to head, and they sweeped us to start the season. That was our very first series.
But it used to be All-Star game. Am I incorrect? It used to be the All-Star
Yeah,
game.
Used
but
to
they
be.
stopped that two
They
Yeah,
stopped
years.
the stuff
They
there.
stopped that 2 years ago.
when they put the wild card.
Yeah,
All right, sound good.
Yeah.
Oh
All
well.
right.
yeah.
All right, so this is for the biggest game maybe of the week. We are Penn
Penn
State
State.
versus Ohio State. I've already had early action on this. I followed the train with Sharp way early before when he dropped the line. We had it in another show. I'll link the show up here for when we drop the early line. But Sharp, I'll go to you with what's your best bet here? Eva, obviously the line has changed. So has your thought process changed on any of this on this game? Do we still take the line that we see here? Ohio State favorite minus 4.5, totals 45.5, money line minus 198. Talk to him.
Yeah. I think my only hesitation, I guess, would be that Ohio State's been smart with roster management. So what they did the exact same thing the Eagles did, but it bit the Eagles in the ass. They had about 3 or 4 guys that could have played last week. Emeka Egbuka could have played. Travion Henderson could have played. They had a slot safety, could have played. They had a nickel corner, could have played. But last week they were like, we don't need them. Let's save them for Penn State. Well, the Eagles did the same thing. It killed them. Well, I think those guys might be the difference. Like, I really did like Penn State here until I started realizing Ohio State was shelling a lot of their good players. And in college, that means a lot to be fresh. I still think Penn State's in a great spot here. Like, overall, coming into the season, I think they're better. I will say that I do think the way Ryan Day and Mark Pantoni have handled the roster the last 2 weeks has definitely set themselves up in a great position here. Almost kind of give themselves a mini bye. That being said, I still think Penn State's going to win this game. If you don't want to have to put the money on the +5 we gave out, it hasn't even moved much. It's still 4.5. I think 4
I
somewhere.
thought
But
we
you can
got a
get 4.
plus 5.5. Was it
It
5.5?
opened. It opened to 5.
Yeah, I
Okay.
see that 4.5.
Yeah. But what I'm adding to it is, man, Penn State bet 365. You can get Penn State plus 167 money line. I think Penn State's a good team to throw in a teaser for sure. When I give out teasers at the end of the show, they're definitely going to be in a lot of my teasers here. They're going to be in my crossover teaser, and they're going to be in my just college football only teaser. I think this game's going to be back and forth classic. To me, what this literally comes down to, the only way Ohio State wins, I could literally see this being Penn State up by 4, down the stretch, and then TreVeyon Henderson busted big. Ohio State cannot sustain runs. Like their runs are 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, 80 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, 4 yards, and 70 yards. And it's only TreVeyon Henderson that can do that. Now they've held him out for 3 weeks in a row. This dude is going to be crazy fresh. So that would be my only fear as a Penn State fan is TreVeyon Henderson has like 12 carries for 140 yards on 2 runs essentially and bust the game open that way. Outside of that, Penn State is going to win this game unless TreVeyon Henderson or Marvin Harrison does something crazy.
Diddy, you got anything on this game? He's got he got my handicap for me. I don't got nothing to say because I was on the early line side of this. I did bet Penn State +5 here.
Yeah,
I don't know if you have any takes on this game. Obviously, it's gonna be a classic early game, 12 o'clock. Anything to
I
add?
do. I do have Penn State in the teaser, like Sharp said. I think that's a great teaser play. We'll talk about that later on in the show. And I do like this game on some teasers on the totals also. But for the single play, I wanted to look at the Penn State first half here. I think this is going to be a boxy game. I think this is like you're going to have that championship type vibe coming in here, and I think you're looking at two of the best defensive teams um, defensively per opponent's yards per game. That's looking at Ohio State and Penn State. So I think this is going to be one of them boxing games, low scoring games. I like Penn
Yep,
State in the first half to be able to cover that, which should be what,
two and a
about
half.
2.5? I'm sorry,
No, 2.5.
two and a
Yep,
half, right? Yeah, I mean,
yep.
of course, you would love to get to the 3 number or the key number, but I just think it'll be
Hmm.
like probably like maybe like a 7-3, 10-10 game going into halftime. Any team that Ohio State has played that had any type of respect, they were close in that first half. Notre Dame, Maryland, and I think Penn State is actually ready for this moment. Talked to a buddy of mine that's up there in Penn State, and he's been saying that they've had this thing circled. Obviously, but he just gave me that
Yeah,
extra like, hey, this might be the one.
right.
He doesn't say that much, so for me, I'm going to follow that. I like them to get out there early, box it a little bit. I don't see Ohio State getting out of control. If anything, it should be easy first half for me. So that is a unit play for me, first half for sure.
You're saying Penn State in the points on the first half?
Penn State, yeah, you can go money line or the points if you want to. I think
What
I
what,
like
what do you get? What do you get in
Well,
first half? Are you
so
getting the +3?
no, I'm getting a 2.5. I'm seeing it too, 2.5 for first
So in
half.
your opinion, you think this is a tie game at
Like
halftime?
I can see it being a tie game.
Because my only thinking, just not saying anything with your bet, but
Mhm.
like in my opinion, you almost seem like you're leaning Penn State to have the lead at half. You would, and then you kind of hinted at
I
money line. Wouldn't you just with such a short line? Wouldn't you just take money line? Like if
I
you're
think
catching
you're
the 3, I love it. But if you're
yeah,
not,
I think what you're saying is 100% right, and usually I wouldn't do that. But for some reason, I'm feeling 10-10. Like my gut
okay,
is saying tie
yeah, I
ball
got
game.
you.
You know what I
I
mean?
got
So
you.
I'd rather be on the
Yeah.
plus side of that than me saying, all right, it was a great bet, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna take the +10, a +2.5 with the 10 -10 juice,
This
and just
game
keep
to
that
me is a
going.
lot like Duke and
Right.
North Carolina, or sorry, UNC
Notre
last
Dame,
week with
UNC.
Miami. Two,
Okay.
two, two pretty evenly matched teams,
Mhm.
and I think the difference was both quarterbacks were getting rocked early by the defenses, which I think is going to happen here. I think Drew Aller's going to get hit, and I think Kyle McCord's going to get hit. They're young quarterbacks. But what I think is just Drew Aller's the bigger, tougher dude, and that showed in the second half with UNC and Miami. Their quarterback started limping a little bit, and Drake May just kept coming along like he was Terminator, like Josh Allen does. Like you kept hitting him, he kept
Yeah.
slinging it. You kept hit, and I think Drew Aller has that quality where we might whack him or we might get to him. We might just not be able to get him on the ground. And I think this is going to come down to a red zone efficiency type game. And Kyle McCord cannot escape the pocket, and Drew Aller can. And literally for me, that's the difference. Like I'm just trusting that Drew Aller's going to make more plays than Kyle McCord, and I think everything else is pretty even.
I
So
do.
let
I
me
like
ask.
that. I like your run. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Let, yeah, no, you're good. Let me ask you boys this: Franklin in big games. Does that have any mystique on this, or what we've been saying all year for 7 weeks? This is Penn State's year.
Of all
As
the
an
years,
Ohio, go ahead, Diddy.
no,
Sorry,
sure.
go ahead. You go first.
Of all the years of this Penn State, because Penn State's always been in the conversation, right? They've always been
For
there
sure.
throughout the whole year. I think of all the years, I feel like this is the biggest opportunity for Penn State to make a run here. But we're looking across at Michigan too, right? I think Michigan's probably the best team in the Big Ten. Most likely, I do think Michigan's probably the best team in college football right now.
Yeah,
So
agreed.
unfortunately, Penn State runs into the buzzsaw. I feel like they always have a buzzsaw in front of them somewhere. The team is better than them, and they got to run through the Big Ten. But I think this is the best team that I've seen come out of Penn State in a long time. And I think this is the opportunity for them to take on Ohio State here. I think they'll be prepared. They got a lot of veterans on that football team. I think they'll be ready to go. I'm also looking at that team total first half under the 23 and a half. Like I said, I think it's going to be like a 10-10 game, 7-7, 7-10, 7-3, something like that. I think it's going to be really close to the cuff. I think that nobody wants to be able to kind of lose control. So I think they'll be game planning that way. Like they'll be getting coached that way, right? Not a
And
whole
I
lot
will
of
say this,
sensitivity.
Nate. Big games. Ryan Day hasn't proven he's a big game coach either. Some of that James Franklin stuff was when Urban Meyer, who is a big game dude, was a monster. And as an Ohio State fan, the last couple of years, the reason I knew we were going to beat Penn State was because I knew Sean Clifford was going to make a devastating mistake when the game was close, and he would always do it.
Yeah.
He would play good. He would play good. He would battle, and then like he would just have some turnover that was like, oh my gosh, you just killed Penn State, and we knew that. This year, I don't think Drew Aller's that guy. So I don't think James Franklin's a terrible coach or a guy that's a big game failure, or at least he's on the same level as Ryan Day. Like I don't think that's going to be a huge advantage for Ohio State, in my opinion.
And just before we move on to the next game, but I think this is such an important game to talk about. Um, I've heard a couple, this is going to be a back and forth, classic boxing match, heavyweight fight, under, but we're not on the under. Any type of reason why we're not on the under of this game? Because I was it at 45 and a half? Because when I went back and looked at it, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, damn, this is going to be a fight. And we got some solid defenses. From what Diddy, you said, I'm bringing you both to kind of together of your handicaps. Diddy, what you said, beginning, this is a veteran team. This is a good defense. And then going back to what you said, Sharp, 2 yards, 70. Explosive. You limit those explosive plays, you can limit Ohio State. So what we see here, I heard you a little bit, Diddy, about the under the half and the under. Why not the under for those watching, for those who might be like, okay, well, if it's gonna be a defensive battle, why are we not looking at the under here, for the game itself at 45 and a half?
I mean, I did actually. I actually was going to put. I do
Okay.
have them in a teaser for the under. I just think
Okay.
I think
Okay.
that number is super sharp.
Sharp. Yeah.
Like it
Yes,
could
Right
go
where it needs
over
to be.
one
exactly.
point or under 1 point. Like it's just so sharp that's
Yeah.
why I just couldn't.
There's
Like
no value there.
that's why I like the
Okay.
first half. I wish it was 24 and a half on the first half, but it's 23.
Oh
That is
man.
sharp too.
Yeah.
But that's why I just took the first half under. And if it does go over it, then I can kind of save myself on the second half live bet or something like
Yeah.
that. But Penn State is not a good defense. Penn State's a great defense. Like you're
Hmm.
talking probably historically one of the best defenses Penn State had
I
since
bet
like
they only
the
giving up
Lamar
what, like
Arrington time.
less than 10 points a game, right? Or something
Yeah,
like that.
it's pretty
It's crazy.
remarkable. They're
Yeah.
ranked number one in total yards, ranked third in passing, ranked fifth against the rush,
But here's
ranked
my only thing:
23rd at
they have
defense
not
rating.
played a competent offense yet, and Ohio State
Yeah, I was about to
is,
say.
Is Ohio State an elite offense like they've been the last 5 years? Absolutely
No,
not. Is an
and
Ohio
that's it.
State but
Mhm.
look at Penn State's schedule. They've played literally every offense they've played is
I
bottom
agree.
100. Like I'm
I
talking
agree.
like not even
Yeah.
top 100. So my only thing here is this is going to go a big step up in the kind of offense they are playing. That would be like my one little hesitation. And the only thing I haven't weighted on you said it great. The line is just sharp on the total. This game has a history of overtime. And if you're sitting there and it's 21-21, 23-23, and you go to overtime, you're
Sick.
cooked.
You're
So I will say, I think the summer line was like 57 was this total. So it's now the week of the line's 45. That's That's a significant jump. The line now is where it should be, in my opinion. And Diddy said the same thing. It's hard to bet that under unless you get closer to day of and you got to feel for the exact weather.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
I know in God it was Abuka. Abuka is questionable going into Saturday.
He's playing for sure.
But he definitely should be
Yeah.
playing. But he's not going to be 100%. And I think that's going to be key. And I think they've been leaning heavy on Harrison. What I will my last comment. I try to compare what this game is going to be like in the worst side of Penn State. Could this be that Ohio State Michigan game when Michigan came in dominating defense? Everybody was talking about Michigan's defense. They're this, they're that, the blah blah blah. Then Ohio State just blew them out the
Open.
water that one year.
Yeah.
But they had so many weapons on the outside. They were just doing crossing routes and killing him. I just don't see that being Ohio State this year. I don't think they have enough offensively. Although to Chase's point, they are competent, right? Ryan Day's
Yeah.
offense, competent pieces. I just feel as though they're not the scary Ohio State team that I've seen. Like we're talking about Penn State outright beating Ohio State at Ohio State.
Ohio State.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? We're not even
These are two top 10 defenses in the country. Both
For
these
sure.
teams are led by their defenses. I want to get very clear. These two teams are led by their defenses. No doubt about it.
Yep.
All right. Love the handicap on that one. I think we gave it the time and just due time that it needed. Uh, so that best bet though, if you guys didn't catch it, um, we're on Penn State. Diddy's on Penn State first half, and me and Sharp had the early line of +5 in Penn State.
But I'm also adding money line. I want that bet 365. You can get Penn State +167 money line right now. That's the best line number you can get. +167 money line. I like 2 units.
A few moments.
All right, let me see how I want to answer back. So, welcome everybody back. Sorry, we had a little bit of a issue. I got that Boost Mobile on the top of my house trying to get this internet right. But we are back. We just gave you the full slate and respectfully so for the Penn State Ohio State game. But we want to keep the game moving. I mean, keep the bets moving and go for some more games. So now we're going to get into the nitty gritty with the 12 o'clock games. I don't think I have any other 12 o'clock games. You boys got anything? Who's on the docket? Diddy, what's up with you? You got any 12 o'clock best bets, or
Yeah.
are we going to keep it moving?
Are we going to run the teasers later on, right?
Yeah, teasers
Yeah,
always come
Okay.
later
So
on.
no straight bets. Straight bets. I don't have no 12 o'clock. No. Besides the Penn
Okay.
State game.
Sharp, yeah.
I did want to mention something. I don't have another best bet at the 12 o'clock. It'll be a teaser. But I did
Okay.
want to say this is the first time in a long time I do think a Service Academy game has a chance to go over. I'm going to tease it down just to ensure that it goes over. But I just want to be very clear. Usually for the last almost a decade, if a Service Academy team is playing a Service Academy team, you take the under. It's just auto play. It hits 80% of the time. Well, this line opened at 41 and a half, which was a sharp line, in my opinion. Maybe 38, so maybe you got a field goal value, but it should have stopped going down at 38. It's at 34 and a half right now. Air Force is good. They can score. Navy is good. They can score. Both teams have scored over 20 points in the majority of their games this year. I know the game flow is going to be back and forth, but it's going to be like 55 degrees and sunny in Annapolis, Maryland. There is no reason these two teams can't get to at least 17 and push for this over, which would be awesome to see because last time it took overtime and it still didn't go over.
That's so bad.
Yeah. I mean, I think what you're saying, because they did change their offense a little bit as far as not being a heavy triple option style, that it could tilt on the overside. This is one of those like games, like this is the first year of that. I would have to kind of see how it's going to, and I'll be on the back end of it. I do, but I think if you're going to make a play, if any time, like you said, Sharp, this will probably be the year that it does hit the over. I'll wait and see, just because I want to see how, in case they just keep the tradition within the tradition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's
yeah.
how they do. Like, oh, yeah, they're telling us to do this, but we want to keep the tradition within our rival games the way it is. But we'll see. I do have this game though. Excuse me, in our teaser play.
All right. So I don't have any 12 o'clock games. I think my next game is a little bit. I'm looking at my slate. A little bit. Oh, actually, no. I do. I am attacking this Washington State Oregon game.
Ooh.
So we saw it last week. We talked about it. The Oregon Ducks, and I think Sharp even opened it up when we were doing the recap. The handicap was Sharp. The handicap was Sharp. We were pretty spot on how we saw this game flow and how this game was going to turn out. And the coaches gambled and they lost, and we gambled and we lost. But I think there's a lot of narrative about Oregon coming back home and being pissed off. And I think this rightfully so. But I think the fact is that Oregon is just a good team. Period. Right? There's more than just being pissed off because they lost that big matchup against Michael Penix and Washington. So with Washington State coming here, we were wrong on Washington State, and the last 2 weeks have shown that. UCLA got that ass from Washington State, pause, and I forget who else they just lost to. Was it Oregon? No, it wasn't Oregon State. Was
They
it
just
Oregon
got
State?
smacked by Oregon.
Oregon State, right? Was it Oregon State?
Uh, or Washington State, they got smacked by Arizona.
Oh,
Arizona.
Was it Arizona State? No, it was Arizona. You're right. It
Arizona.
was. It was
Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah, it was Arizona. It was bad too. It was like 44 to like
7.
17.
No,
So
7. They didn't score no.
40
They
to
didn't score
6, 40 to 6, I think.
6. Yeah.
yeah, it was terrible. And now you got to go to Oregon and Eugene.
Yeah,
And if you believe that they're pissed off, okay, that even adds to the narrative. So with this game being said, and I think Oregon has a decent defense as well. So I think Washington State, from what we've seen, has come back to earth, and they're not going to be able to score that much. Oregon has scored over 40 points almost every game except that Washington game. So what I'm looking here is team prompts, team total. I already bet it. It looked like I already jumped up, but I have Oregon 40. I have Oregon 40 and a half. I think Oregon scores 40 points easy here. If Arizona can score 44 points on Washington State, what the hell we think Oregon going to do? And especially if the narrative is that they're pissed off and they're mad about their situation. I'm not sure about that veteran team. I think they're going to go out and handle business and do what they do. And maybe they might blow off some steam a little bit in that first quarter and that first half. But I really like Oregon here to really blow out the doors of Washington State. And if Washington State makes it a game, Oregon's just going to score more points. So it wouldn't surprise me if Oregon's get closest to 50, like 48, 49 points here. So give me Oregon over. The line is 41 and a half. I still like it. Once it gets to 40, if it gets over 42 and a half, then maybe you might want to pull back just a little bit. But give me Oregon over. I have it at 40 and a half, but 41 I'll still take.
So I took it earlier in the week when the line opened. We're doing these shows on Wednesday. We talked about maybe someday we'll do a Sunday show talking about early lines. So this line opened at 15 and a half, and it's been steaming, and there's a reason why. Washington State, they got off to an early start, but guess what? They lack depth compared to these upper echelon Pac-12 teams, and that's their problem. And injuries have started to add up on both sides of the ball. They're not the same team they were the first month. And man, they're catching, like you said, everything's right. You're catching an Oregon team that's pissed off. Bo Nix is incredible on the road or at home, and now he's actually started to play good on the road. So I just think he's a guy that you can bet on week in and week out. He's not going to have these lulls in his play. He's a fifth-year senior, phenomenal player. This is just – I still like it at 18. I would stop taking it at 20 and a half. Maybe even if it gets to 21, you'd take the hook. This is blowout city. This could be 45-21 or bigger than that. The line right now is I think the best I'm looking at is 18 and a half universally. Give me 18 and a half for 3 units. I know 15 and a half is what I got personally earlier, but I still like it at 18 and a half here. I mean, everything about this game is telling you to keep betting it. This line's going to keep steaming.
Couldn't agree more. It's
Yeah,
because
I
I
think you guys
bet it.
got good takes on here for sure.
Yeah. I really like this Oregon bet. Like I don't know how they don't score almost 40 points outside of them just pulling up on the gas. But even so, somebody will get loose, somebody will break one. Washington State is not who we thought they were, and the start of it was at that UCLA game. unfortunately.
Yep.
Because I like the kid. Because we were telling the kid was almost like what second in the nation,
Yeah,
um, and
definitely
passing
regressed.
efficiency. He had like 14. Ward. He had like 14 touchdowns and no picks. Like he was balling, but they just
Yep.
went off on the deep end these last two games, and I think Sharp hit around the nail. They're starting to play teams with, like you said, depth, and they're just running into it. And I don't even know what happened in Arizona. Like I have no idea. I'm not sure if this is the game they wake up. You know, at Eugene in Oregon. Maybe next game, but not this one. All right, let's keep this train moving. So I got my Oregon bet in here. That was a 3:30 game. Any of you boys got any 3:30? Was it 4:30, 4 o'clock games? Any more straight bets? Are you guys all ready for your
Yeah, I
teaser
do.
picks?
I
I
have a. Go ahead. Go ahead, Sharp.
Yeah,
Nope.
go ahead,
You go
Sharp.
ahead, Diddy. It's your turn. I got another one at 2:30, but you go for
Yeah, yeah. I'm behind that. I got 3:30 and a 4. So you go to do your 2:30.
it. I know that they're really ugly, and I already know what's coming. We're gonna look a month from now, and there's going to be an 11 and or I guess 10-1 going into it. There's going to be a 10-1, probably number 6th ranked Iowa team that just flat can't score. They've already played the toughest part of their schedule. Now they're catching Minnesota at home, who can't score. This is going to be a rock fight that plays right into Iowa's hands. Now, when the line opened at almost 7, I mean, come on, Iowa doesn't deserve to be a 7-point favorite against anybody. But now that the line's only 3.5, and I'm catching that standard home team advantage, that's kind of what we see across college football when they think the teams are relatively even. Well, I don't think these teams are relatively even. Minnesota cannot just win on their defense, and Iowa can. Everything about this team, Iowa is ugly, but they win ugly, and Minnesota can't win this kind of game. It's just there's no way they can win a rock fight with a team that's tougher than them and better than them and really good at winning this kind of game at home. I mean, this is going to be ugly, but if they win like 13-7, it won't shock me. But give me Iowa minus 3.5. They're going to cover that 3.5. 2-unit
So,
bet.
So I'm
so
on this bet too, but I'm not on Iowa. Uh, Not on Minnesota either. So I didn't want to. I know I
I get
let that
that.
in there. I'm definitely. It's low. I'm so over on the total on the under. So on the total on the under. I saw that it was at 32 and a half. It already dropped the point.
Yep.
The added thing, and I think Diddy might have got to this, was the injury to the tight end to Iowa. He tore his ACL. I think
Mm-hmm.
is it Allen or Alley? I
Yep.
forget how you say his last name. Allen. I think it
yep.
is. He's
Aaron
out.
Allen.
We already know the quarterback's out. So, and the crazy thing is, the tight end was the focal point.
Mm-hmm.
We know
That's
and
big.
Iowa makes tight ends. Like this ain't nothing new. Iowa is known for the tight ends, that especially they put in the league. The fact that he's out with his ACL, that's why I love the under, because I just don't know how Iowa's going to move the ball or score. This is, to me, not even a rock fight, stick fight, dirt fight. Like this is just field goal city. This is what I see. I see nothing but field goal city in this game. Maybe 2 touchdowns total between both teams. I am on the under, and the under is in every teaser that I can think of. Teasing that thing up and going under on every teaser. But for my straight
Yep.
bet, I'm with you, Sharp. I got 2 units on Iowa, Minnesota under. I got it at 32 and a half. I still think it's good. No, what I just don't see this game being no more than 17-7. Just don't. 17-10, maybe even 17-13. But yeah. No, I love the under and first half under too. Anything if it says under, I'm on it.
I love it. Yeah, that's I have it in it. I kind of was going to go for a pretty what I thought was a foolproof teaser. If you like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking it standalone. I mean
Yeah,
that's
I love it standalone. I love it standalone. Go ahead, Diddy. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I felt like I needed to get that out. I was on.
No,
I
I
love
agree.
this
I
under.
was going to say about the injuries. But I like
Yeah,
definitely like the underplay here. Like you said, I think it's going to be a stick fight, and first person that can score more than 10 wins.
10 wins exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, did he? Man, we've been doing this so long. I already know what you was gonna say, bro. I already know it. I already knew where you were going. You
Yes,
went like this.
sir.
You looked up and you said, "Hold 1 second."
Yes,
All right,
sir.
let's keep the thing moving here. So for me, that is all my straight bets of the day. I know, Diddy, you said you had another one lined up. So
Yep,
talk to
I have
me.
a 3:30. Sure. This is a game that kind of popped up on me um, as I was doing my capping this week. And obviously
How about it?
we're still in the middle of the week, but I'm looking at Eastern Michigan playing Northern Illinois
And are
um,
you
away. This line is set at 11 and a half.
jump
I'm
up the
looking
show?
here. I know Eastern Michigan is not a they're not a good team. They struggle offensively, but you get into these MAC conference games, and they're always a fight when you're playing each other. I just think 11 and a half points to a team over the past 2 weeks have gained a little rhythm in Eastern Michigan, with two big wins against Ball State and Kent State, 28 points and 24 points. Um, on that side. I just think they'll be able to stay within that 11 and a half, and we're through that key number of 10. I think they'll be able to hang in there. I don't see that Northern Illinois uh, as being as strong as they have been when they used to run the MAC. I think the pendulum has shifted over, and I think we're going on a down end for them. So I think the 11 and a half points here is a play for me. It's not a big unit play for me, just a sprinkle about a half unit play. I just thought it just popped up for me. Mac schools, I usually kind of once it gets later on in the season, I'm really heavy on looking at Mac schools. Matter of fact, it's so funny that Mac used to run Tuesday nights. Now it's like all these other schools are coming in. So it used to be this focus on the Mac schools, but for me, I'm just going to take Eastern Michigan here at plus 11 and a half. I just like the value there. And if you want to put them in some type of teaser, there's no way they're going to lose by more than 17, or if you want to put them in three-team teaser by 21. So, but I like them at plus 11 and a half. You're getting through the key number in this game. I think it should be tight. Half a unit.
About half a unit. Let me
Yeah,
make sure.
confidence is like it's worth a play, but I'm not like
A
going
little bit of
crazy.
sprinkle on there.
Yeah, I'm not going crazy.
Okay. I like it. I like it. Hey, Sharp, I meant to ask, is are we adding uh you said you had Iowa at minus 3.5. Are we adding the Penn State money line to your official play too? Or are we just gonna hold on
Yep.
what you have early? Okay.
He
Nope.
said,
Two
add
units
that
to
shit.
win three. Yeah, two to win 3.3.
Okay, cool.
You got me for Oregon too, minus 18 and a half.
I had minus 15, what was the official number, but I can put it for minus 18.5
Yeah, I mean, I like it. We'll keep it official to the
to the
video.
viewer. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean I like the efficiency that we have here. Because it looks like I'm the better of everybody. I have four official plays, but you guys have each have three, and I like the efficiency. Learning what I see that we're doing naturally, and just so the audience knows, we know we took a hit last week.
Mhm.
We're readjusting, looking for the best value, and then attacking. Right? It's not like spotty here and there. Everybody has 4 or 5 plays like we were before when we're up. Now it's more kind of selective of what we're doing, and still getting what I feel is great handicapping on the best of the numbers. I said this maybe once before, and I think it kind of came true. So I'm going to put it out in the universe. I don't see a loss. Like I don't. Like I really don't. Maybe my SMU could get funky because of the weather,
Mhm.
but it's still strong. Marshall, I feel like is strong. Iowa, Minnesota, we got two of us on. Everybody's on the Penn State side. Eastern Michigan, I like the handicap. The parlay coming out the gate for tonight, and going into Thursday to get you up and up. And I just can't even imagine what the teasers are going to look like right now. So if you
So
guys
boss,
like well how we just broke everything down, make sure I tell you, I said it before. I see thousands of people watching the videos. Thousands.
please
Cost you nothing. Hit the damn subscribe button.
keep us going.
Let's continue on the money train and growing the money pot betting community. So we're all winning. That's the goal. That's what we're about. You know what I mean? We don't have VIP bets yet, right? That probably will be coming sooner than later. But as of right now, we're giving out free game, free gyms, and making sure everybody eats. So that's always been the key. All right.
So just one thing before I know we're going to move on, and then I
Yeah,
do
yeah.
have two on the straight plays. I don't want to add them. I just want to ask you guys, 'cause I know,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
especially you, Sharp and Moss, with these Texas and Michigans, and those are two games I was really looking at and I had them circled. Texas is playing at Houston. Houston coming off that crazy comeback win against Western. I'm sorry, not Western, against West Virginia last week. Last minute touchdown with 2 seconds left. The Hail Mary gets caught. So you get a lot of
Yeah.
excitement going in from that game. Now they got to go play Texas that just lost the Red River rivalry. Obviously, this is a get back game, get right game for Texas. My question is here. This is what I had and I was capping. I like Texas first half over, or I'm liking Texas team total over. I think Texas get it going. Um, when Houston is allowing West Virginia to fucking score like the way they scored, I can imagine what Texas is going to do here. So I wanted to kind of ask you guys, what do you guys think about that first half Texas over or team total Texas over? And the same thing follows with Michigan playing at Michigan State. Um, Usually Michigan State games are tight. This is different. Two different teams on two different sides of the stratosphere. What do you think about that Michigan first half and team total on that side too for Michigan State?
I really like the first half bet for Texas for me.
First half, yeah.
Yeah, I like the first half. I didn't see the Houston game before, so I didn't really get a chance to see that game flow. But just knowing Texas, I think this number is key here with the minus 13 and a half. I
Mhm.
think it's right where it should be with the team total. I mean, I'm sorry, with the total in the first half, 31. So just looking at the number minus 950, I think this is a game, like I said, I didn't feel like Oregon might not be pissed off. I feel like Texas is going to be pissed off in this game.
Yeah. If not, they'll
You
be
know what I
ready to
mean?
play.
Yeah, and not they're going to be ready to play. Exactly. So
Now, what's
I
the team
like
total first half? Can you give me a team total?
team total first half.
Yes, for
Let me go to
Houston. I
team
mean, for
props.
Texas.
Texas. Um First half is 21 and a half.
21 and a half. Yeah, that's telling
Yeah.
me 13 and a half. Yeah, give me Texas first half. I like that.
The 13 and a half, right?
At 13 versus the team total. That means what the
Yeah,
team
yeah,
total
yeah.
should be what, 42?
It's 41. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
sharp. I think that's right where it probably should be. It's 41 and a half. Um but I haven't watched enough Houston. That's my only thing. So I
Mhm.
haven't watched enough Houston to kind of get a feel for what just it's my handicap is based on how good Texas is. But
Yeah.
yeah, Sharp, what do you got on Houston? Or do you know about
Um,
Houston?
my only thing is, college teams don't always come out great off the bye. Sometimes they come out a little rusty in the first half. It's like, especially the QB play, it can be scattershot. Sometimes they come out fresh, but
Mhm.
it's not always like NFL where it's like practice is sharp. You great game plan for 2 weeks. College teams, when they have a bye, especially now with the early signing period, less than 2 months away, coaching
Mhm.
staffs use that bye week to recruit. They're not with their actual players. That's on the players. I know that doesn't sound right, but that's actually what happens because in college, that's the difference between NFL jobs and college jobs is recruiting is 50% of your job, if not more in college. So that bye week, you're literally flying at a place like Texas. You're flying all across the country talking to your best recruits, watching your best recruits, seeing them in person to make sure they're still locked in. So I know Quinn Ewers came off a really bad game, so I think he's going to have an internal drive to play great. So I do think that's a good spot for him personally to bounce back, but it's hard for me to take any first half bets of any college team coming off a bye because it sometimes is an oxymoron that they actually come out shaky.
So let me ask you a question. I think obviously me and Nate play defense. Coming off a bye, you feel refreshed, right? Defensively, I think you're ready to get after it, ready to punch somebody in their
Yep.
face, right? So I would say defensively, I think Texas kind of rebounds here, right?
I would
Now
think defensively,
more than
defensive players tend
offensively.
to come out with more energy. Offensive players can be a little rusty.
So would you look at maybe Houston team total in the first half under possibly here?
So when you talk to those two games, instantly in my mind, I went to looking at fading Houston's offense and fading Michigan State's offense. I
Okay.
think that's where, like, I don't know how Michigan State's going to score in that game, Michigan, and I could see Texas
Yeah.
mollywhopping Houston's offense until Quinn Ewers and that offense can shake off the cobwebs, or they just come out gun blazing both ways. So.
Gotcha.
I think the play is definitely for Texas defense to dominate.
So yeah, those would be some leans, Nate. I mean, obviously not official play here. I just thought those are
Hmm.
two pretty good games that you can probably find some gym betting angles, like team total under, like as now what Sharp was saying. Maybe look at Houston team total under. Maybe look at Michigan State's team total under. These will
Yeah, I'm
possibly
about
be
to bring
something
up
late action.
Michigan.
Maybe I'll put on a video for a short if I do go and make a play for either these two games.
Yeah, let me bring up Michigan at Michigan State.
Yeah, I was trying to find Michigan State's team total.
Yeah, because I wasn't. I mean, we all know how bad Michigan State is, but I mean, like you said, two opposite sides of the scale here between Michigan and Michigan State when these games are typically a little bit more a little bit more closer just because of the rivalry game here. But it looks like the lines are almost mirror images of
Identical.
themselves,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Minus
Yep. Yep.
13 and a
Yeah,
half,
they
24
are.
and a half.
That's why it was such a yeah. Let's talk
The
about this.
So
34 and a half. Michigan State total points is nine and a half. And the overs, got a little bit of juice on it here. But
yeah,
we've already talked about how we feel that Michigan is the best team. Well, at least we feel is probably the best team in the nation. So looking at this, the first half is 5.5. I think Houston was 9.5. Um, so I think these numbers are pretty
That Michigan over
sharp.
over 19 and a half looks good to me.
yeah. I was looking. I was starting to think like because they've got Michigan State's numbers pretty sharp. Like they're anticipating
Right. They
Yeah,
a
can't score.
that's what I'm looking.
yeah.
Yeah.
That over 19 and a half is looking really good right there. And it
Yeah,
won't be there for long.
maybe even over 34 and a half. Like if Michigan State were to get that early defensive score and score early, and maybe all of a sudden they got 13 points, well, Michigan will still put up 45 on them.
And that's what I was thinking. Like for that 19 and a half for me, because I know sometimes Michigan Michigan, that second quarter is big for Michigan, right? The first quarter, a little
Yeah,
bit getting in the groove, but usually they start, going off in the second quarter. Once they start getting the groove, getting that run game going, they'll score anywhere from 14 to 17 points in the second quarter. So the key, I think you said, can Michigan score early? What's that first
Well, who you
quarter?
saying starts second half? Who you say that? Who does that?
Second quarter.
Second quarter. Oh,
Michigan,
okay.
yeah, second quarter. Second quarter,
well,
Michigan, I feel has gotten like they score more in the second quarter than they do the first quarter. In
and in
my
the second
in my
half,
opinion.
I will say, like you guys taught, playing defense, like the way Michigan plays, it's body blow after body blow after body blow. So by
Yeah,
the
they squeeze you, man. They
third
squeeze
and fourth
you.
quarter, those defensive players, man, like they're making business decisions on how hard they want to hit those A gaps on them blitzes when they know a running back's coming right through too. So it's just like a war of attrition. So Michigan, I have noticed like third and fourth quarters, if they want to, like they just can score. Like their running clip goes, they start getting like 9 and 10 yards before contact.
And I want to also say, if I may be wrong here, is this Michigan's first nationally televised game? Prime time?
Yeah, they've been day games so far.
Oh shit. Give me Michigan, baby. Give me Michigan. Give me Michigan first half total over 19 and a half. Like, come on. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking back, just to kind of get a trend. Like I said, they scored 21 points, you know, against Indiana in the second quarter. They didn't even score in the first quarter. But against
Mhm.
Minnesota, they had 24 in the first half. Against Nebraska, they had 28 in the first half.
Mhm.
Rutgers has somewhat of a decent
Defense.
defense.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, they have
Was
respectable
tight.
defense. So it was tight. So that made sense. It was 14-7. Bowling Green got rolled on more than likely. Well, that was 14. But I mean, I try not to go back too far
Mhm.
because you're talking about, 4 weeks ago, right, in terms of who Michigan was. And I think that Bowling Green game was the first game that Harbaugh came back, if I'm not mistaken. From so to get a better sense of where they are, we can take a look at the last three games. And outside of the Rutgers game, this number hit over 19 and a half in the first half. This number hit three out of the last three. So for me, I think that's a good enough sample size to sprinkle some money on that first half minus 19 and a half.
And Michigan State defense
Michigan.
is not good. I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not
Yeah, where's it at? Yeah,
like
minus 19
soccer.
and a half. Yeah, I like that. I like that because you're not even like even if they don't score in the first quarter, you're not out of it because they can throw up 21, or 17 in
Mhm.
that second quarter. I think the
Yeah,
key is if they score in the first. If they can score in the first, this hits, especially if they score a touchdown. So, yeah, I like in the
first
line for
primetime game,
yeah.
Moss, sharp. First primetime game, as good as your team is, you ready to show out. In a rivalry game, usually this game is not even a night game. I think this I think I've seen maybe one Michigan State night game, or maybe it went into the nighttime. Usually it's like a 4 o'clock game, or a 3:30 game, not a 7 o'clock game. I don't think I've ever seen Michigan State at a 7 o'clock game, but I could be wrong. I know they'll
Okay.
be ready though.
I mean, the only thing is this is Michigan State's Super Bowl. I mean, they had the embarrassing coach. The coach had to be fired for reasons they obviously didn't want to have happen.
Yeah,
They've kind of steadied the ship. They were an embarrassment right after when they played Washington, which is expected. They have steadied the ship. They keep losing close games, so they're not playing like abysmal football. So my only thing is like this would be, I guess it's their Super Bowl, but I just don't. I just keep looking at these. I just don't know how Michigan State has a way out. Like
they don't try to give them away
I
because they
don't.
don't. They don't. They went to Rutgers and lost, and then it was a tight game. I watched that whole game. I was biting my nails the whole game time because I had the Rutgers on that side. But you're now playing against a Michigan team that's about to show who they are to the whole world. This is who we are. We are here, and we're on our way to win a championship. And this is their first time to do it. We know how it is, man.
For
We know
sure.
how it is as players. Like when you start seeing them cameras loading in throughout the week, you know what I mean? It's
Well,
like,
it's
oh
go
shit.
time, baby.
It's
Yeah,
like, all right, y'all ready? Let's go,
yeah,
boys.
yeah. When the lights shine, yeah, for
Right.
sure. Facts, facts. All right, I think that is the slate on the straight plays of the day. So we'll get into our teasers. We already dropped the parlay earlier today. So Sharp, man, I think you feel like you've been quiet this show a little bit, man. Start us off with the teaser here. You always got a dumpster fire teaser, as you call it. I don't know if you got one today.
Yeah, and unfortunately, those bit me in the ass last week. Those well, hey, I talked about it. Like I said, if Penn State gets up 56-0, then I know my bet's cooked. And guess what? They were up 56-0. So that just is what it is. I'm not going to go that dumpster diving, but I do have. I will say we talked about it a little bit that the line, this could be the year that a service academy matchup hits the over on its own. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and start my teasers off and tease that down, and I know it's going to go over this number. Um, so we're doing this is all college football, 4-team super teasers. So 4-team, 13 points. You take Air Force and Navy from 34.5 down to 21.5, and you take the over. Like we talked about, even if that game's like 10-10 going into overtime, you know it's going to hit at that point. You take Iowa and Minnesota. You were all over it, right? You talked about you like it at 31. This ain't even going to be a rock fight. This is going to be a snowball fight or a pillow fight. Well, I take 31.5 up to 44.5, and you take the under. And like we just talked about, Michigan State. I know this is like a rivalry game. I know they put that line at 24.5 to kind of bust some teasers maybe. If they just take that 10-point teaser, maybe Michigan State hangs tough for 3/4. But if you're giving me Michigan teased all the way off 24.5 down to 13 or down to 11.5, taking that all day long versus Michigan State, even in a rivalry game, they'll end up beating the brakes off them in the end. And then last but not least, like we talked about, the showdown. Early game, Ohio State, Penn State. My handicap was pretty clear. I think Drew Allar's the reason Penn State's going to win, but I think both defenses are the dominating force of these teams. I know that sounds crazy to think for an Ohio State team, but that's a fact. Their defense is dominant this year. These are two top 10 defenses in the country, in my opinion. And I'm not just talking off stats that don't mean anything because college teams don't always play the same equal schedules. I'm talking in pure talent, schemes, they fly around. So you take the over from 45.5 up to 58.5, and you take the under in that game.
Let's
You
see
got to
what
swap
that
out that
looks like
Michigan
for the.
State. Swap out that Michigan State game to Michigan.
Oh, I have. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I thought that was weird. My bad. Uh, so we can see what all that number looks like. 13, and there it is. 21 and a half over, under 44 and a half. Penn State under 58 and a half, and then Michigan minus 11 and a half. I like it. Looks clean. Looks
Yeah,
good.
looks good. Looks good.
Looks good.
Yeah,
All
like
right.
I wanted to say, I haven't, especially after a tough loss, but I also think we're getting into that point of the season where the lines are sharp, right? The books, the models, everyone has a chance to see these teams now for weeks, and now we're into 2 months. There's a lot of tape out. So it's hard to find. Like if you're out there firing 15, 16 bets, you might want to just recalibrate just a little bit. This is too late in the season to be having that many bets, in my opinion.
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, and I think I echoed that right before how we came off a bad week and we readjusted, and I see how lean and how more efficient the bets look to me. With the handicap, it's not like five, six bets or a little sprinkle here and there. It's more kind of condensed of what we really like. We like some other games, but what we're giving out right now from official plays, I really like what I'm saying. All right, Sharp, you got any more teasers?
Nope, nope, because I'm not going to do a crossover one this week. I didn't want to double up, and that burned me last week, so I'm going to do NFL only. But that is a 5 unit teaser. That's my big college football teaser.
All right, nice, nice. All right. I guess I'm talking a little bit, so I'll take it. I got two teasers. They're already locked in here. I'll start at the top here. This Tulane North Texas game. Now, I've been watching Tulane for a while, and I like how Tulane plays. I love their defensive line. They're one of the best defensive lines in the nation, in my opinion. But this North Texas team can score.
Mhm.
They can score points. And even though it's minus 20, Tulane is already what 5-1, so I believe they are already bowl eligible. They're ranked. So I mean, they're going to want to continue to climb that chart. But I think this North Texas team is going to be able to hang tough. So I'm doing a three-team 10-point teaser. I'm teasing North Texas up to 30, where I feel like they can hang with this team. They might lose by three scores, but I'm okay with it. I don't think they're going to lose by more than 30. So give me North Texas plus 30. We already talked about it a little bit with Sharp. Love it straight. I'm going to double dip just because I think the line is way off, and maybe just because the books can't hang a line that low. I think what's the lowest total you've ever seen hung? Maybe 29.
Yeah, 28 and a half, I think it was, Nate.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was a Rutgers game where there was like a Rutgers Iowa windy supposed to be yeah, I think it was 28.
yeah. So we're already talking like we're not sure if these teams are going to score 20 collectively. I like it straight. I'll take it even better. Tease it up. Give me up to 41 with the under. And then I think you guys have been on this team for a while. We talked about May all year before, and nobody's really taken it. But the Virginia team is so bad. They're 1-5. They're horrific. You get UNC at home. I like him to win by two scores. I get it under the number of 14. Give me UNC minus 13. That is one of my plays. A three team 10-point teaser on the number. Boy, she looking pretty.
Looks good. I
She
like that.
is looking pretty.
Yeah, I like that too.
All right, I got one more, and then Diddy, you can take us home. And I'm looking right at it already. Um, I like this. I think Diddy, you have me looking at this team, this UNLV team. Colorado State is they fight, and the quarterback has a cannon, but also he's throwing the ball 50 times a game. Like he's throwing, like they don't run the ball. And the one thing that I noticed that because he had the national stage against Colorado, and that's what kind of gave me notice. And he could sling it. He had an arm. He had a decent arm. He can sling it, but they can't run the ball. They barely average 75 yards. It's all him throwing the ball. I think the last two games combined, he had over 80 to 90 yards. I mean, I'm sorry, 80 and 90 attempts and running the ball. That's just not going to get it done against this UNLV team, especially a quarterback who's turned it over almost 11, 12 times, averaging almost two turnovers by himself a game. It's not enough. I don't think they could beat them. I getting UNV with the points. I think they win this game handily and easily by well more than a touchdown. But give me UNLV. And then I already said it, man. I love this number. And if somehow, some way, Iowa throws up 21 points and Minnesota throws up 14 points, well, I guess as they say, in Tulsa, I'll go eat crow, right, or something like that. So I'm going back again and dipping in the well. I'm taking this again, teasing this up. I just don't see how these teams can score. Minnesota, it doesn't have an offense. They're living off their defense. Iowa, we already know what it's like to play in Iowa, but not even that. They're down their tight end, their starting tight end, their leading receiver by more than 100 yards. He has double the receptions of anybody closest to him. And we already know that they've been off their quarterback. I just can't say enough. I love this under in this game. It's probably my best bet of the week. And then we've already talked about it. We gave it so much airtime before this Penn State, Ohio State game. Rock fight, heavyweight champ, not a rock fight, heavyweight battle, probably biggest game of the week. And I'm getting it under the key number. I don't think Ohio State's going to beat this team by more than two touchdowns. Even if they do, I got the hook to protect me. Give me Penn State teased up to over 14 and a half. That is my second three-team 10-point teaser. And man, I said it before this earlier, and I'm gonna say it again. Like I love all our plays. They are all spot on, and it would take something to happen for them not to hit. So that is my second teaser of the day. Love this one too. I love both these teasers. Um, and well, I forget who. Oh, what was it? I can't lose. I forget where that's from. It's from something, but I can't lose.
No, I like it.
Diddy, bring us home.
Bring you home. All right, guys, here we go. I have three teasers on the board. We're going to
See, this is
start
why I
with,
left you for last because I know you were the teaser.
yeah, man. I try to
Teaser
find a
king,
gem and I
man.
try to smack it. I love to give I try to be versatile, give guys a totals teaser. I try to give you a two-team teaser and then a three-team teaser. If I see a four-team that's out there, I didn't see any four-team teasers out there for me
Hmm.
that I felt confident on. They were all more three-team and two-team. So here we go. Quickly, this is a team's teaser, two-team teaser, 7 point. We've already
Okay.
spoke about this. This is the Penn State game versus Ohio State, going to Ohio State. I'm
Yep.
going to tease Penn State up to 11 and a half. They're at 4.5 right now. We're going to go 7 points and get to an 11 and a half. I don't think we need to talk too more about the Penn State and how we feel about it. We all
Yep.
agree how Penn State should be able to come out in this game. Um, Sometimes I am nervous when we're all on the same play. But at the end of the day, I think this is a this is a good play here, plus 11 and a half. You're getting through to 10. So give me that for sure, especially a defensive team led by Penn State. I'm going to put that with the South Carolina Missouri game. And I want to speak
Mm.
just briefly on Missouri. Missouri is quietly one of the best teams in that conference. They started their season off really with that big 60-yard kick, 60 plus yard kick to win the game against Kansas State, which ultimately I was on Kansas State side that time and lost that
Mm.
game to a 60 plus yard kick. But I started respecting Missouri as I started watching them a little more closer as they've been going through their season and dominating offensively because they're able to put the ball up in the air and score the ball. But even defensively, they've been kind of, you know, slowing teams down, right? We've seen them play Memphis 34-27, Vanderbilt 38-21. LSU was a battle back and forth. They ended up losing that game in the last, I think I want to say the last 5 minutes, because I think they were ahead at one point and then it was going back and forth. They lost that 49-39. Kentucky, they were underdogs at Kentucky, going to Kentucky. Everybody thought they were going to lose. Not me. Give me Missouri and Kentucky, and they won that 38-21. It was a pretty much a beat down there in Kentucky. They were able to stop the run in Kentucky. And I feel the same way here coming back home when they're playing in Missouri, playing South Carolina. South Carolina has some O-line issues. That's going to be key. I think you have the motivation coming back home. It's going to be homecoming for Missouri. This is not a quote. We got the opportunity to be 7-1. My whole career, I've been one in this, two in that, three in this. The opportunity to be 7-1 is a blessing. That's coming from a starting defensive lineman for the Missouri Tigers. Um, you're feeling that they can become now a New Year's Six bowl eligible team. Now they're not just a bowl eligible team because they already did that. They can actually be on New Year's Day.
Yeah,
So I like them here to win at home on homecoming. So we're going to tease that Penn State game down to a win. That'll be a pick. So they were -7. We're going to bring them down to a pick. That'll be Penn State and Missouri in the two-team teaser.
got it.
Next is going to be a three-team team total. We can run right through this. Penn State, Ohio State. The line
Hmm.
is at 45.5. I'm going to go under that and tease it up 10 points, 55.5. We're going to go under that. We talked about how this is going to be a tight game. I think I also took the first half under. I think this will be, like you said, one of those really tight games. Um, and I don't see this being, I definitely don't see this hitting 55 at all. So give me under the 55 there. We're going to go UCF in Oklahoma. 66 is the line. We're going to go bring it down to 56.5 and go over. We both know that both teams throw the ball, move the ball, run a very, very fast tempo. Going to be a lot of possessions in this game offensively. And no matter what the clock is on, where they are in the game, as far as where the clock is, they're still speeding it up. Gabriel for Oklahoma has been pinpoint and throwing that rock for Oklahoma. As you see, they're coming off a bye too. After winning what is it? I'm sorry, that
Red rivalry.
Red River
River
rivalry.
Red River
Try to
rivalry.
say it
rivalry.
Yeah.
Sorry
10
about that.
times
I did.
fast.
I know I tried. So I think they'll keep that going. I think this game will hit over the 56 number. Both teams can score. Oklahoma pretty much dominates. They should get 40 themselves. If we can get 20 by UCF, that'd be great. I think this will be easy cover. Then we're going to go to Colorado State, UNLV. Same exact
Mm.
analysis and handicap. They're very similar as far as both teams putting points up on the board. UNLV is averaging almost close to 30 plus points a game. Playing Colorado State, who's been giving up that type of points. And I think Colorado State's, like you said, that quarterback has been at times and able to kind of move the ball down the field and they have opportunities to score. I think this will be an opportunity to go over. So their line is at 63.5. We're gonna take that down to 53.5 and go over. It's a three-team teaser. Penn State, Ohio State over to 55.5. I'm sorry, under the 55.5. UCF, Oklahoma over to 56.5. Colorado State, UNLV over 53.5. And my last and final teaser, so we can get out of here. We're going to go three-team teaser again. It's a 10-point teaser. We're going to go Air Force playing Navy. The line is at -10.5. We're going to tease that down to 10 points and get to a win, pretty much a -0.5. I like Air Force Academy. Air Force Academy is a dominant football team this year. They are. I believe they are ranked in the top 25. They deserve it. Navy has been struggling. Navy is, the change of for me, I feel like what they did with that head coach and firing the head coach was premature. I think he felt disrespected, and I think they're feeling the wrath of that right now. So give me Air Force, who seems to be together. They're able to run the football uh, at a great rate, and they're also able to pass the football. So give me Air Force to win this game. I know it's a rivalry game. I know they're going away into Annapolis, but no, I'm going to take the better team here in the Air Force Academy to win this game. We're going to tease that with Northwestern Nebraska. We're going to take Nebraska. That line is at 11.5. We're going to bring them down to -1.5. Northwestern is shit. There's not much I can say about it. Nebraska's not much better than shit, but they're the better shitty team,
To the better
right?
shitty team.
So I'm gonna get them at home. I think once Nebraska made
Fucking
that
clown.
quarterback change because their starting quarterback was turning the ball over, they made that change over. I think over the last 2 weeks, and they showed out last week. I was surprised what Nebraska was able to do. So I think the quarterback change was big for them. I think they easily win this game. I'm just going to bring them down to a win. I usually, as you know, Nate, as you know, Sharp, I don't like betting bad teams, but this
I
just
was, I
seems
was
like
about to say that. I'm
no,
surprised you're on this
I
game.
know, I
I'm
know.
really am.
But
I'm
the
really am.
line, yeah, the
You
line
going?
was getting me right there to a win.
I'm
If
about to say
Nebraska,
Hey,
you start this game. This team is shit, and then the other team's not that
I
much
know,
better shit. I'm like, oh, this
but
ain't
no,
you.
they're the better of the shit.
Oh, okay, my bad.
hey, a big part of college football betting
Yeah,
truly is being able to determine what's bad versus really bad,
but yep,
because
yep,
there's a lot of bad out there.
yeah.
Yeah, I hear
I
you.
mean, I
I
think
hear
at the
you.
end of the day, Northwestern is ready for the season to be over with. I wouldn't blame them, and they got to go to Nebraska. That's a tough place to play too. It's going to be really loud. 3:30
Yeah,
game. Give me Nebraska to win. And the last team I got on that teaser will be the 7:30 game. Duke playing Florida State. I know
yeah. We
Sharp is
we
heavy on
didn't touch
Florida
the
State.
game.
We didn't touch that
Yeah,
game.
we,
No Sharp is heavy on Florida State. Give me Duke though. Give me 10 more
the
points.
Dukers. I wanted to take the Dukes, man.
Give me over 23.5. And if I die on the sword, I die on the sword. And Florida State maybe changes my mind if they can beat Duke by more than 23.5 points. All right,
Man,
Florida State, you're going to get my right to say that you deserve to be in the top three contention. But I just feel like, not saying that I think they'll win the game. So I think Duke is kind of going down now a little bit, kind of back to
Is
the
Riley
injury.
Leonard? He's for sure
He's
out,
he's
right?
no, I think he's playing. I didn't see no injury report on him unless it's going to come late.
Okay.
I didn't see he played last week,
Yeah,
and
he
I didn't.
did. He
Yeah,
did.
I don't see him on the injury report this week. So I think whatever
Okay.
happened, he's back. So that's if he wasn't playing, I'm off it. If he is
Yeah, I get
playing, which
that.
I think he is, I didn't get any injury news unless it comes late.
Yeah.
Had that injury come back and hit him.
well, I mean, Travis got hurt too last game, right? I mean, he came back. It was his arm.
He
He
came to his
But
got
he
arm.
got
nicked up
hurt.
as well.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
Yeah.
got nicked up too.
So give me
So
Duke relying on Duke's defense here at 23 to protect 23.5. I mean, I know Florida State is Florida State, but I just think 23.5 is a lot of points to give a Duke team that has a tight defense like this. So that'll be my 3-team teaser there.
I said I wasn't going to do it, but I am going to
uh-oh.
do I am going to do a crossover teaser just because I had to confirm an injury information. I couldn't remember if he was dated, if he was week to week, or if they put him on IR, but they did put him on IR. So I do have a 5-unit crossover teaser: 2 college games, 2 NFL games.
All right.
We talked about some of these games. I'm just going to pair it up. Oregon off a loss. Now they're catching Washington State, whose bubbles burst in Ottman Stadium. They're going to be pissed off. They know their season's still alive if they just keep blowing everyone out. So you take Oregon from 18.5 down to 5.5. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about Penn State. I think I'm going to triple dip this game. That's how much I think Penn State has a really good chance to win this game. I already gave them it to cover the line. I've already given them money line. Now I'm putting them in a 13-point teaser. So you get Penn State all the way up to 17.5, crosses so many key numbers. If this is the losing bet, well, then I might run naked as an Ohio State fan because maybe we are a national title contender team. So those are my 2 college games. And then the NFL games are pretty simple, guys. I love both these teams. I bet on them early in the season. Both teams came off tough losses. They're going to bounce back. And with this teaser, they're catching points. So you move the 49ers all the way to +6, and you catch Seattle Seahawks all the way to +5.5. Seattle's at home. I mean, come on now. Pretty simple.
Are the Niners on a bye? Because I don't. Oh,
No,
they're
the
Monday
Niners are playing.
Monday
They
night.
play
Monday night
Minnesota.
football. Monday night
Yeah.
football.
Hey, and I want to say real quick on that line, guys. Remember in week 2, one of my bigger bets of the season was Minnesota +7.5 in a very similar situation. Guess what they didn't do in this game? They didn't give that hook, did they? I think they learned their lesson. Sometimes you got to realize the books learn over time, right? Too, they get got on a couple bets, and just like we get got on some weeks, you learn. And the next time that team's in that same situation, you won't see Minnesota catching 7.5 versus an elite team all year.
All right, hold on. I know we got to get off. Nate, I got to go the other way. I did find some research like Sharp was able to do, and I was wrong. Leonard did not play last game versus the Wolfpack. For
Okay.
some reason, I thought he did. They dominated the Wolfpack and won with their backup.
That's what I was asking about because I didn't see him play, but they won 24-3. But it was defensive dominated. But I didn't get eyes on the tape, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I was
you're
looking at the
going
injury
Florida
report.
State?
and I didn't see them. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to Florida State because I do think they win the game. So we'll flip it and go Florida State at home here.
I like
and I think
that.
that's mainly because
Do you think that line's too
quarterback
slight? Like, why is it, if he's not playing, only 14.5 when you're starting
I
quarterbacks
think
now?
the line says that they don't know if he's playing or not.
right.
And there's
Okay.
probably backdoor news that he's trending towards possibly trying to give it a go. And Duke's defense is for real. I mean, they hung tough with. I mean, even though they lost, they punched
Yeah.
Notre Dame in the mouth,
Notre
and they
Dame
hung
is
tough last week without him.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Just
Yeah.
asking.
It's going against a different juggernaut here at Florida State that can move the ball, got a good, good offense. And something he's actually probably not talking much about is that Florida State's offense and how they're able to move the ball and put the points on the board. So yeah, I'm going to flip it. We're going to Florida State, not Duke. Unfortunately, if Leonard played, then I would have went that other way and relied on that defense to hold strong at 23.5. And I still think they can. I don't think you can go any wrong left or right, but I'm more confident on the left side because just in case Florida State's offense is cracking that defense, they won't be able to put no points on the board.
Well, while we're on camera, this is why I'll say it again. College football, please make rules so that college football coaches have to come out with an injury report. We don't need it for all 83 scholarship players, 85. But come on, your top 50 players, we need to know who's trending in and out. Like, come on.
Especially the way sports betting
We,
has gotten.
we need
Unbelievable.
to know because we need to make this money. All right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't care about the game. I
That's
need
running
to
the
make
industry
this
now.
cash.
right.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, everybody. So that is the show for today. Hope you guys got a lot of bets, a lot of information. Like I said, I feel really strong about these bets this week. I think just like some of the teams that we talked about were due for a major comeback, right? We got beat up last week, and we'll have the major comeback this week. So again, make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification button. We're dropping plays each and every week with college and NFL. So make sure, like I said, hit the subscribe button, hop on the damn money train, tell a friend to tell a friend, all that good stuff for the fellas. Sharp, Diddy. I'm Moss Money. This is MoneyPot Betting. Go Phils. We'll catch y'all later.
Go.
If you're seeing this video right now, that means you made it to the end. So congratulations. You are now almost officially part of the money team.
MoneyPot.
How do you become a part of the money team? If you're new to the channel, you have to hit the subscribe button. We want to blow this brand up. It's not me versus you or us versus them. It's us versus the sports book, us versus the bookman, aka the boogeyman. So make sure you're on the winning side and the winning team. I got bonus content up here for you guys to choose from. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. This is Moss Money. This is MoneyPot. This is MoneyPot Betting.
Go Phils.
Finish that bell, baby.